to Live with Miami's Community News, South Florida's #1 source for local stories. I'm Michael Miller, bringing people together and sharing the voices, events, and connections that shape our community. Thank you for joining us. This is Live with Miami's Community News, and I'm Michael Miller. Special guest today is Diego. Help me with your last name.
Guimarães.
There you go. All right. And you are a fitness executive with Efinity. First, tell us about what Efinity is and how people can benefit from that.
Absolutely. First of all, I'd like to thank to be here.
Yes.
It's very nice to come and see the facilities today. Efinity is a concept. It was born during COVID. It's a place that we like people to call their second home, as we combine training, nutritional guidance, and recovery treatment. So it's like having a gym, a spa, and a nutritionist. You go there, sometimes to train, sometimes to check on your nutrition, sometimes just to relax on an infrared sauna. It's an holistic approach to well-being. That's what it is.
And certainly that's one of the failings of so many places and gyms. You go there and we think that we know what we're doing, so we go into the gym and we work out for whatever it is, 15 minutes to an hour and a half, and we leave. We're all screwed up for a week, right? And then we overeat, and then we undereat, and we don't drink enough, right? And then it's really tough to do it without real guidance. Tell us how important guidance is with this.
Yeah, we believe that fitness alone is not enough. It's very important, don't get me wrong, but you can go there and exercise for over 1 hour and leave there and go straight eat a pepperoni pizza. I'm going to tell you that it was going to be healthier if you had eaten the pepperoni pizza without exercising. Mm-hmm. It's interesting, yeah? The beauty is when you sit with somebody like a wellness coach or a fitness coach, they're not going to guide you through what's needed specifically for you, because that's how we do things at Efinity. It's very personalized. So your plan is different from mine because your wellness objectives are totally different from mine, potentially. Yeah? So it doesn't make sense to put the same size fits all for plans. When you have somebody guiding you, two things happen. Number one, accountability is much higher. Yeah? So somebody is not only following up with you, somebody is helping you achieve your results. But most important is that attendance goes up as a consequence. So people, instead of going once or twice a week, they start going 3 times, and they say, hey, you're here 3 times. Don't skip Mondays. So they don't skip Mondays anymore. And we transform what we call a vicious cycle into a virtuous cycle. That is, it's changing your life. Yeah.
I used to run marathons, and that's exactly what happened, which is okay. So I'd go out, I'd train for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, I was running a lot and socializing a lot with other people.
That's it.
And that really made the difference. That was the glue that was there. Somebody's expecting you to show up, right? And you go for a variety of reasons, including the camaraderie that's formed. Now, you've been doing this for well over 20 years. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've been in the fitness area now for 11 years. In franchising, over 25 years. Yeah. I think you touched on the most important things of what we do. It's community. So I'm here at Community News Network. So community is the heart of your business.
Yes.
Yeah? It's the same for us. So things that happens when you start seeing people coming every Monday at 6 a.m., if they disappear the following Monday at 6 a.m., not only our concierges at the front desks are going to say, hey, where are you, Michael? But 2 or 3 people is potentially going to text you and say, where have you been? They're going to say, oh, I'm sick. I'll be back next Monday. Okay. Oh, I'm in Italy. Oh, enjoy your trip back. But you say, oh, you know what? Get back over here. You cannot disappear for 2 weeks, because there's so much science behind it that if your peers are helping you be accountable for, it's much better than a coach or whatever specialist helps you doing that on a regular basis.
And I noticed your shirt. It says Infinity,
yeah,
and then Beyond Fitness.
That's it.
Tell us about that.
Well, I think gets back to the first thing that I told you, is that we don't believe that fitness alone is enough. I couldn't tell you how people underestimate the importance of recovery. Now, we have 4 pillars at Infinity: training, nutrition, recovery, and community. Those are what's our business built on. When we say recovery, sleeping is the most important thing you can do in your life. If you want to prioritize something, it should be sleeping, and then sleeping, and then sleeping, and then you go for training, nutrition, or whatever. Yeah, it's not Diego from Infinity speaking. There's thousands of papers, scientific papers, speaking about how recovery is important. Yeah, when we say beyond fitness, is that we take care about you. We help you create sleep hygiene, to going to the bed at the same time, waking up at the same time. We help you with putting the right nutrition for you to understand what's good for you or not. We help you on understanding that some parts of your body, depending on your age, gender, you're gonna over-exercise it, you need to recover. So everything is scientifically proven and scientifically defined to go beyond fitness. Of course, don't get me wrong, nobody goes there asking for a recovery sauna. Everybody goes to us looking for the training. If the training experience is not good, so we have a problem. So our training experience is great, and on top of that, we put a layer of nutrition, a layer of recovery, all good under a very nice community that really takes care of themselves.
Let's talk about sleeping,
Yeah.
and why you said go to sleep about the same time and wake up at the same time. Why is that?
Oh, I don't want to get technical because I'm not even a doctor, but I love reading about this. There's something called a circadian rhythm that your body it's used to. So I'm going to make my life easier. For my grandpas or grand-grandpas, they had a rule of thumb. When the chickens were going to sleep, they used to go to sleep. When the sun was rising, they're going to wake up. Yeah? Why? Because the human body was originally developed to work into this cycle of light and darkness. What happens? We live in Miami. We were talking about the greater Miami area. Nobody goes to bed at 6:30 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. Now we are on winter. Yeah, we go beyond that. So what we did is, not we just adopted is into our methodology, is that we help you go to the bed at the very same time and wake up at the same time, so you adjust your cycle to have the minimum hour of sleep your body demands. Not only this, we help people say, hey, forget about the cell phones. Yeah, you should give up of any electronics, TV, cell phones, tablets, computers, at least 2 hours prior to bed.
Why is that?
Because the light, the white light from those devices gets your circadian rhythm reverse up. So they believe it's still day. So it's going to take you longer to sleep. Not only is it going to take you longer to sleep, you're going to sleep less on the best hours, which is the deep sleep method. So you need to really recover X hours. For example, I can give you my example. I go to bed at 10:20, no more electronics. I read for 25, 30 minutes. 10 to 11, I'm sleeping. Yeah? Of course, not Saturdays, have some friends, some real life. And automatically, by 6:10, 6:20, I'm awake. Before the alarm clock. Because my body is just telling, that's all you need, 7 hours, 15 minutes, and that's all. And when I put this in my routine like 10 years ago, I started to see that not only I was feeling fresher in the morning, but I was lasting much more connected during the whole day.
When we think about the addiction quality of phones and about all the Facebook and all that, to where we get that, we're there from 1 second going like this and flipping through all that stuff. And each one of those is a little dopamine hit and looking for the next big thing that it's going to last 5 seconds to 30 seconds. So that's all working against us in order for them to sell ads and to keep you on that platform. So what's your suggestion on how to deal with that?
Well, I have a teenager and a young adult, yeah? And for the last 5-6 years, what we decided to do is put some rules, as you do for everything. And I don't know why we as parents or as regular myself, I don't put the rules and stick to the rules, yeah? You don't let your teenager drink when he's 14, 15. Why? Because you're not drinking in my home. Yeah, that's common sense. So why we leave somebody with 8 years old or 9 years old on a TikTok without any? So we decided to put some rules, and the rules are X, Y, and Z, and they follow. We had a parking lot for cell phones in our kitchen, so everybody should park the phones there. I was the only one with the phone in my room, and I just keep the phone there with 10 numbers that would ring that night. My father, my mom, my brother, whoever is really close, my in-laws. So if I really need to pick up the phone, it's from the 10 or 12 people in your life. Yeah, and another thing that we discussed during the process inside Infinity that we try to bring into this is that you need to put some times to use the devices. The devices are controlling our lives. Yeah, so we don't allow people to come inside the training area with cell phones. Okay, of course, when the class is over, they want to do a selfie, all that stuff. That's okay, but hey, it's only 55 minutes. You can survive 55 minutes for checking your phone. Yeah, and if something gonna happen, your phone is gonna ring 2 times. Somebody on the front desk is gonna check your phone. If it's your son or whatever, they're gonna call you. So people need to not only allow themselves to be aware of that technology, but they must put rules for those that they love in order to do that.
So husband and wife, they're having the conversation about you're on the phone all the time. It's a pretty tense conversation. But when you go to somebody that's trying to help you, it's easier to like deal with the emotional aspect of it. Like, no, I got to have this phone here because somebody's going to text me and I must answer it instantly. And we expect people to answer instantly. And when it's not, there's a certain psyche that's like, you better respond to them. And that is years of training, all right, of being abused by each other on the telephone. So you have these rules down at the gym. Where's that again? I call it a gym, but it's not really a gym.
It's a studio.
It's a studio.
Yeah.
Right.
So another thing that we do, and this connects also with the nutritional aspect of Infinity, I don't allow anyone in my house to use cell phones during dinner time. It's one of the few times during the day you can connect with your family, yeah? And not only this, when I bringing to the business side of this, is just like, what are you eating? Because if you're using your right hand with your fork and your left hand with your cell phone, and I ask you, what was dinner? What you had for dinner? You're going to say, you're going to need to look into your plate because you don't know. You're disconnected from that moment. And people, especially in most developed countries, the US is one of the worst in this aspect, is people is 100% of the time connected, even during lunch times or dinner times, and they believe that that moment is for food ingestion. It's not for nourishment and understanding and learning from that. Because when you're doing this, you're eating so fast. You didn't give the time for your brain to understand that you had enough. So you go back and put more potatoes in your plate, more beef in your plate.
In the old days, when we used to go out, and I would be on Sunday morning reading the Herald, it was a much lower intensity compared to the phone. Here's the story. It was not overstimulation from looking at 50 items in like 100 seconds.
Yeah.
And we understand that is different when you read a book at night. It's a different level of intensity, and it's certainly a calmer sort of thing and more an internal function that's not riddled with these hits of an addiction. And we see that, and we're really lucky that if you take a look at your phone, and it'll tell you this is how many hours you were looking at your phone. It's a lot.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.
Right.
Even if you're doing for some kind of information, that's usually we say, I was listening to that because I was trying to learn about that. Yes and no. We're trying. The human being has this fantastic brain gives us all the excuses we want to give to ourselves. Yeah. So when we go into this, say, how many hours have you been spending on? Oh, they say 2 hours. Oh, really? Let's check it out. It's there. Yeah. And they say 6 hours. Oh, the first thing they tell me, what is this? This is wrong. It can't be.
Yeah.
And it is. Yeah.
So people walk into your studio, say, listen, these are the rules we play by here because we're going to try to help you. These are the 4 major parts of that. Tell us what those 4 major things are again.
Training, nutritional guidance, recovery, and community support.
And so okay, here's my phone. All right. The first couple of times people might get really nervous about it. Then after a while they go, I got a break.
Yes.
And
what we usually tell people is that we live such busy lives nowadays. We don't have time for anything. We have time for our husband, our wife, our kids, our whatever, but not for ourselves. So say, this may be the only time you have for yourself. And what I tell our concierges at the front desk, hey, maybe you're having a bad time, maybe you're not in a great day, but when Michael is here with us, maybe it's the only time he's giving to himself in 3 days. Not in that day, because you're going to come on Monday, and then you're going to come up on Thursday, and that's all you got for yourself, 2 hours for you to exercise. So we need to make that hour the best hour of your life. Yes. You know, we should be welcoming you, so we call the welcoming factor. And Diego, it's beautiful words, transforming into numbers. Yeah, we have a 4.9 Google review. We have a 4.9 ClassPass. And one of the most used words when on the reviews is, it's such a welcoming place. Because we are standing, we are smiling, and we're calling by the name. Yeah? we're welcoming you, like you're coming home, yeah? What do you do when you get your guests? You stand, you open the door, you say hello, you hug those that are closest. That's how you should do it, so people feel they are at home. Every single person entering Infinity at the first time, there's a blackboard on our front desk. And everybody who ever attended Infinity for the first time, their names are on the board. Why? Because that's the way I like treating people at my home. Yeah? So this is how we believe people should be treated. Oh, Diego, but they are not even a member that we call a guest. They are our guests. It doesn't matter. They can be a guest, they can be a class pastor, they can be a member. We treat everybody fairly equally.
So you mentioned about franchising opportunities. Tell us about that and why you spent so many years in the franchise world.
Oh, I started my career on a large U.S. multinational company. First years in Brazil, then later as the controller for Latin America. And it was a huge MBA on franchising for us. I learned so many stuff. At the time, we had like 650 franchisees among Brazil, Chile, Peru, and Argentina. And I really loved the concept of franchising because I believe that franchising spreads good business much easier than you building that by yourself. Yeah, and for the last 25 years, I've been somehow engaged in franchising. For the last 11 years in fitness franchising with a very great brand that I love. It's called Orange Theory. They have 1,500 gyms all over the U.S., and we were the first area developers of Orange Theory. We built 40 locations from South Tampa from St. Pete to Naples.
When you say you do, what does that mean?
We were the area developer. We bought the rights from Orange Theory to develop Orange Theory brands in that area. And we grew to 9 locations, 31 franchisees, and that investment was divested prior to COVID. So franchising brings you a lot of ways of expanding nice business and bringing the possibility of a regular person that doesn't want to be an entrepreneur, he want to be a business owner. They're different things, yeah? I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years, and I've been a business owner sometimes. When a business owner it's a profile, yeah.
And with the franchise, all the background work's been done. Listen, we've tested this.
Yes.
This is your from the front door to the back door, back. You don't have to invent it. Grant and I have been doing this entire lives. I can't tell you how many times we've rewritten that thing.
That's
all right, and then it's all an experiment, all right, and not all experiments are good, all right. But we happen to be that we like to do that. But if there was a book to follow, there is with franchises, this is what it looks like. These are the people across the country was there. Orange Theory, that's a big deal that you did that.
It was good. It was good. We were very lucky to be part of that expansion. I learned a lot about the boutique business in the U.S. during that time. And we were very, very fortunate to divest a couple of weeks prior to COVID hitting us. We sold to a private equity group in December 2019. COVID, as I mentioned to you, was terrible times. We don't like even thinking about those crazy days that we were wearing masks on a beach. Yeah, but it was when I had I call my aha moment. I was watching CNBC. There's nothing else for you to do at that time, so I was watching the news and trading some stocks, and I said, oh my gosh, 67% of Americans are worried about dying not only because of COVID, but because they understood that the first ones to die were very elderly people, fragile people, then people with some severe diseases, and third place is people that were only obese. Yeah, that was the disease attack. It's the right time to start to do something different that goes beyond fitness, beyond training, because everybody can offer training. Yeah, it's nice, helps people get into movement. So you're doing nothing. Please don't get me wrong. Do some training. Go for walking with your dog. Okay, if he's tired and you're tired, it was a good walk dog. If he's not tired and you're on your cell phone, do it again without your cell phone the following day. Whatever. Pick your whatever you're gonna do.
There is something cleansing about putting down the phone. And then you go out and you walk, and so we're reminded. You might hear the wind in the trees, and you might hear the dog barking.
The parrots.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Because it's about where your attention is, where your focus is. Yeah. We tell everybody, people on these hushed times, they don't even know more how to breathe nowadays. It's ridiculous. Yeah, but if you pay attention to yourself, sometimes you're going to see you're breathing like a little old dog. And our lung capacity is so huge. So if you're walking with your dog, with your cell phone, you're not paying attention. And you're probably walking like, if you're walking intentionally with your dog, no cell phones, you're going to be breathing better.
Yes.
You're going to be a nice walker. You're going to see your neighbors. You're going to see some trees, some flowers, and you don't see
and
that.
You brought about breathing. It's just what's a gentleman, I said to him, you lose some weight? He goes, yes, 60 pounds. I said, I'm so sorry. Congratulations, but I had to figure it out. 60 pounds. I'm not about 5 pounds 10. He says, you know what my wife did? She recorded me one day panting, just like you're talking about. Yeah. This is you. You're going to die. You better do something. That was just 5 hours ago he was telling me. And sometimes we need that awareness and somebody to be able to do it. And if you can get a third party that's not, that you're not so personally involved with, and that it's like, oh, I'll be so offended, all right? That's it. So tell us about the process. If somebody wants to be involved with Infinity, what's the process, and who is the ideal candidate for somebody to be involved with you?
Thanks for this question. So 10 years ago, I want to tell you that our persona, the people who are willing to attend somebody between 18 and 45, 50 years old, luckily, people is getting much more conscious that when they're turning 55, 60, 65, they still need to exercise. And why we can put people from 60, 65 years old to exercise with us? Because we don't do HIIT. HIIT is a word that everybody uses for, it's high intensity interval training. That's what HIIT means. We don't do HIIT. Because when you do HIIT, you get a big piece of the population that's not looking for something that is high intensity, and you cannot serve them. So what do? We do something called VIT, variable intensity interval training. I can give you an example for that. So when you go there, usually you are our guest on a free class. We offer free classes for everybody to try and experience us, and if they like, they become a member, they buy a package or whatever. And when you are there, let's say you start on a treadmill. On the treadmill, if you can be a runner or a walker, and our coach is giving you instructions for both. If you go to another places, they're going to be instructions only for the runners, yeah, because they not thinking that the biggest majority of the population is not a runner, it's a walker, or we call a power walker. From there, you go into cable machines. Cable machines, you're doing strength exercise, and the relationship between strength and longevity is tremendous. So you're not doing anything in cardio, you're doing cable machines, yeah. Put on your weight, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, no pounds, whatever you. Just do body movements on the cables. Then you're going to boxing. Boxing is a great, some cardio, some strength exercises. And you can punch with the effort you want. Some days I'm really punching hard. To tell you the truth, sometimes I picture somebody on that bag. Makes the life easier. Or you're just tapping that bag. What's important is that you're moving your whole body at the same time. And you finish on the benches, doing another round of strength exercises. So the way we put this together is to be for everybody. Not everybody only, but literally everybody. You can come there, experience the class, and say, okay, I think I can do it.
When years ago, I went into a cycling class. I'm in the back. I said, I got this thing. I hurt myself. It took me months to recover.
Your lower back, probably.
Right, because I was in the wrong class.
Yeah.
Right? These girls they were pedaling that thing, standing up and doing, no. I want the ones with the big fat tires, all right, that you don't hurt yourself. And so it's important, obviously, especially as you get a little bit older, that you wind up with the right organization that's not there like pushing you as hard as you can go, because it doesn't work the way that it used to. So when you sit down with folks, what are some of the questions that you ask them prior to you say, okay, we're going to go do these machines?
Well, I think the most important one is what you're trying to achieve, yeah, and what we call the wellness goal, yeah. And primarily we can have three groups. So I'm trying to lose weight, which a couple of minutes later we explain. No, you're trying to burn fat. That's what you're trying to do, yeah. Build muscles, or just optimal health. So we split into those three groups. The second most important is, do you have any injuries or limitations? Okay, so we have a lower back problem. We're going to not only our concierge at the front desk knows it, but when our concierge gets you to the coach prior to the class starting, you'll say, this is Michael, he's going to start on treadmill number 1, he's a new guest, and he has a lower back injury, so he needs some changes. So the coach knows you have it. We have our list where you have the name, the position you're going to start. When you're a new guest, we flag you with a color. If you have an injury, we will flag it with another color. So the coach always has the information that needs to take care of you. There are some very specific things that can be done. For example, we have a member that she has wrist problems, but she loves boxing, but she can tap the boxing bag. So we say we can shadow box. So instead of touching the bag, you're going to do exactly the same movements with your gloves on. I step further, don't touch the bag. Just imagine there's a bag there. Yeah? Somebody has, we have so many moms. Yesterday was, or 2 days ago, was so nice because one mom that was with us 5 times a week was out for 7, 8 weeks, and she was back last Monday. She said, I can't get what I can't stay at home anymore doing this. I need 1 hour a day to come here and do this. When she was pregnant, of course, there are some core exercises. We're not going to do it. Yeah. So we have options for all of those things. If you have a problem in your shoulder, we're going to tell everybody we're going to do an exercise carrying some weights. You're going to be much lighter than a person that doesn't carry a problem on your shoulder. But I think the most important message that I try to deliver to my team on a daily basis is we need to not only care, but show everyone here that they see that we care. Because if you have a real, true interest in knowing about you, you may or not become my member, yeah? But you're going to have a nice experience. And that's what really counts. And then you're going to sit with your friends drinking a beer or wine or a scotch and say, I went to that gym, I don't know yet, but wow, they knew my name, they were smiling, they were standing, they were asking things, they knew about my left shoulder problem, the guy fixed it. Oh, by the way, he called my name twice. And you know what? When the class was over, after clapping for everybody, he said, hey, Michael is here, it's her first time, and let's have some claps for Michael. And everybody claps for you. So you're part of the community, even if you're not a member. That's how I like to be treated. I think it's simple as that.
So Diego, so how if somebody's hesitant in going because maybe they'll be embarrassed, all right, for whatever the multiple reasons are, what is it? How do you help put them at ease?
Well, first of all, this may sound strange, but our exercise room has a lower light, okay, because people that's overweight or it's afraid of being on a community class, they prefer not to be on the spotlight. Yeah? So most important, when you get there, we're going to try to understand, how long have you been exercising? I don't do that for 5 years. Okay, so you're going to be a walker. You're going to start on the treadmill at beginner, and don't worry. What you have to do is follow the instructions and finish the 10 minutes on the treadmill, because this is going to be your first 10 minutes on a treadmill in 5 years. Don't look to the left, don't look to the right. There's somebody may be running at 9 miles an hour. Why? Because 3 months ago they were 7 miles, and 6 months ago they were walking. So that's their journey. Yeah? We try to make this about you, not about comparing to others. And that makes easier for everyone to understand. So, I never boxed in my life. I know. Questions. Are you a lefty or a righty? I'm a righty. Your right foot is behind you. Your left foot is ahead of you. Okay? Somebody's going to punch you in the face. What do you do? I do this. Okay? That's exactly the position you need to box. So that's all you need to do to box. What are you talking about? Yeah, that's all you need to do. Then they're going to have videos on the TV. The coach is going to show you this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and that's it. So we don't call front hook, back hook. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah? Somebody with 2 years old knows how to count 1 to 6, and suddenly after 5 minutes there, you say, this is really cool, because it's not only a good exercise for the body, but everything that is related to boxing, martial arts, are a great exercise for your mind. Yeah. So we try to make about you. We try to make your journey, your experience during that moment in time.
That's wonderful. So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
Well, there are several ways. Yeah, we have our website, which is Infinity Beyond Fitness. pinecrest. So that's how we go. You can email us. It's going to be pinecrest@infinitybeyondfitness.com. And we're going to have a QR code on the screen. It's going to be much easier for you for those who want to join. If I may, there's something that we are launching now. You're very familiar with New Year's resolutions, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this December's end of year, there's a joke from I came from that the best business ever is for you to open up a gym January 1st and convert into a bar February 28th. Yeah.
There's a lot of truth to that.
We try to break that pattern. How we do it is we do something we have been testing for a while. It's called a 12-week challenge transformation. Okay, so you join us starting January, and we have two options for you. You join on our training, nutrition, and recovery package. We're going to drive you through 12 weeks. If you follow the protocol, we body scan you, and your bio age, the age of your body, is going to be 2 years younger than the day you started. Okay, and we combined that with people that has been asking us. We partner with Agile Telehealth. It's one of the largest companies in the U.S. for weight loss management. They have 500,000 people on their programs right now. So if you want to combine our training, nutrition, recovery program with GLP programs to accelerate your fat loss, we're going to do that. So it's going to be the first time we are making this combo. We have the 12-week transformation forever. Now we are making the 12-week transformation in conjunction with GLP-1, so people to expedite the weight loss.
So when you look at that whole package, somebody can go in, overweight and tired, sort of depressed, and all of a sudden, a couple weeks in, they're going, hey, this is starting to work.
I'm going to tell you that scientifically proven 3 weeks after you start exercising, you start seeing benefits. Yeah? The first benefits you start seeing is your mood changes very, very quickly. You're going to be more tired when it's later, and so you're going to try to go to bed earlier than you used to do. Why? Because you put some exercise. Yeah. Right after that, you're going to start seeing some things that only you notice, like when you're leaving the shower and you're like with your towel, say, okay, looks like there's something changing here. After 3 months, the closest to you are going to notice and tell you about that. In 6 months, you're going to be bragging about that. So our most sold membership is a 9-month membership, okay? Or we call 3 cycles of 90 days. Yeah? Some people is going to do the first cycle of 90 days and go only into maintenance. But let's say you are 30 pounds heavier than you're supposed to be. Took you 20 years to get there, yeah? We don't do miracles. We have a great program. We don't overpromise. We just deliver what is in there. So it's going to take you 3 cycles of 90 days. So what we are trying to do is get people beyond this 90-day mind. They have like a barrier in their mind, because when they cross the 90-day barrier and they see those results, they change the dopamine of the cell phone into something so much better.
Years ago, maybe 25 years ago, we brought in Weight Watchers. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah.
The first week, I don't know, we had about 10 people in the class. Third week, there were 6. And every 2 weeks, more people would drop off. There's some people who would not come to work on that day. I went, oh.
Really?
Yes. That's how deep-seated, and I understand that, overeating is. Right?
Yes.
That I don't want to go be confronted in front of my coworkers. There was a scaling that they discuss it. So we understand that if you don't have the support, none of that's going to happen, because very few people are really motivated. Get in the car, drive over there, do the stuff, and then after your hour, you're going to go back to all the other stuff, which is talking on the phone at midnight and looking at it. All right. Sometimes I'll pick up the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm going, what am I doing? And I go, you just have to put the phone away.
Yes.
And so I'm delighted to be talk with you. If somebody wants to, again, reach you, we can have it up on the website. And you're in Pinecrest. What's the address?
We are at 104 and US 1, where Whole Foods and Target Mall Plaza is. Yep. For those who are locals, South Miami, Pinecrest, Kendall.
So it's right across from Williamson.
That's it. Just cross. Exactly.
You can't miss it, all right?
You can't miss it.
Take a ride on 104th Street, take your first left into the parking.
Cross Whole Foods, cross Target. We're at the back of that plaza.
That's wonderful.
Parking is very easy. We never have problems with parking. And It's a blast to be here. Thank you so much.
Diego,
Having in the
thank you so much for your
and
time.
Thanks for your service for our community.
Well,
It's been
we appreciate
very nice. Thank you.
Let's look right in this camera right over here. And Diego, first of all, thank you for being here. Second, my brother Grant and I believe in the Disney rule, which is when you hug someone, don't stop until they do. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us.